So good morning. This is a real back to front for us because you're a Yank in London. I'm a Brit here in America. What the fuck is going on? What are you doing in London?
Yeah, I'm showing my film Plainclothes at we just did our a showing at South by Southwest London. It's the first time South by Southwest did a London satellite. So that was exciting. I had two screenings. It was received really, really well. And then I extended my trip because I found out that we are doing a screening at BAFTA for BAFTA members today in a little bit. And then the response was so positive. There was a lot of bookings that they want to possibly do a second screening for BAFTA members, which is doesn't feel real to say out loud. Yeah.
It's good. Well, congratulations on Plain Clothes.
Mhm.
Congratulations on getting it accepted in the Sundance and then walking away with an award and now
Yeah.
being picked up by Magnolia. This is good. So before we start, for the people who haven't seen it, sorry them, can you tell us in your own words, without giving it away, what Plain Clothes is about?
Yeah, sure. So Plainclothes is set in 1997. It's about an undercover police officer whose job is to lure and arrest men who are cruising in a public bathroom. And it's about what happens when he falls in love with a target that he's supposed to arrest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is a story that resonates with so many of us because it may have happened here in the US, but we had a whole history in London. So your story, is it true or where did it come from?
It was certainly inspired by true events. You know, I got the idea in 2016 when I was living in Los Angeles and I went to film school. I always knew I wanted to direct, but I didn't really know how to get there. And I quickly realized that I had to write my own screenplay. So I had this idea a few years after I came out. A friend told me about these sting operations that were happening in Florida, where undercover officers would arrest men in public bathrooms by kind of flirting with them. And
Mhm.
I was shocked because that just sounded like a thing of the past, the 60s or the
Yeah,
70s maybe, but not the two, 24, not 2014.
yeah.
And then coincidentally, I read an article in the LA Times about a sting operation in Long Beach, California, where a man was arrested for indecent exposure, and then he ended up suing the city of Long Beach for entrapment, and he won. You can read all about it online.
Mhm.
You can find the transcript online. It reads like a movie in and of itself. And so I started thinking a lot about my own coming out. And around that same time, my brother was becoming a police officer. And I think I kind of took this therapeutic approach where I started journaling, and then this character quickly emerged. And I realized I wanted to revisit the 90s
Mhm.
when I was a little boy, when I
Mhm.
learned how to suppress my sexuality and my feelings, and that's kind of how the character was born.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in making the film, I'm finding that it really resonates beyond, just the queer audience because everyone has a secret, everyone has something that they're hiding. Um, yeah,
It's weird. We don't talk about it anymore, but cottaging in bathrooms was a really big thing in those days.
right.
Oh, it must still go on, but no one even talks about it now. Let's go into your casting.
Yeah.
You're a brand new filmmaker, a brand new film, and you get star casting. Now, how did you do this? Did you sleep with them? Or did they
No.
sleep with you? So let's talk. You've got Tom Blythe, who blew us away, and of course
Mm.
the British hottie, Russell Tovey. Let's talk
Mm.
about how you cast.
Yeah, I mean, Tom was I wasn't familiar with his work. He was new, just like me. Actually,
Mhm.
I moved to New York City in 2018 in an effort to write this, in an effort to learn how to write. I wanted to be around theater. It's kind of related to both of them, actually. And as soon as I got there, I moved. I lived on 109, on the Upper West Side-ish,
Mhm.
Morningside Heights. Tom, weirdly enough, also lived on 109, but we didn't
Oh,
know.
really?
He was studying at Juilliard.
Mhm.
I was learning how to write. And I would go down to Juilliard to the Lincoln Center Library and I would watch plays that have been recorded,
Mhm.
like the original production of like Angels in America, I think, a play called Lonely Planet.
Yeah.
I'd watch like musicals. I just watch them as a way to learn how to write. So that was all happening, and then the first play I saw in New York live was Angels in America, Marianne Elliott's
Wow.
production, and it just wrecked me. Like it like leaving part one, I'll never
Mhm.
forget. And I'm sure you've seen a Broadway play, but like after you leave the theater, it's just kind of like the door they open all the doors on the side of the theater and all of just this energy pours out into the street. And I don't remember, I just remember walking like
Mhm.
miles after, just like transported. And so during the pandemic, I found that there was a recorded production of Angels in America, the West End product, the same
Mhm.
production but on the West End, and Russell Tovey was in it. And I've been a fan of him for a really long time. And his interpretation of Joe Pitt just really stuck with me. And
Mhm.
I think I subconsciously wrote the role for him. When it came time to cast, we worked with a casting director named Bernie Telsey, who's
Mhm.
cast a lot of theater. My goal was always to work with theater actors. I
Mhm.
wanted to create a theater environment. And it was really hard to cast the two leads. I saw so many people. Um, but it was just I kept coming back to Russell, and ultimately like we sent him the script. He loved it and he signed on, and I think at that point we already had Tom. I went out to a few people for the role of Lucas, and I was turned down by a lot of people. It was extremely disheartening.
Mhm.
Um, it was awful. I was, it made me second guess myself and the script. I was like, am I, should I be a filmmaker? Like what's going on? I realized I think it's just a really challenging role, and it's not, I don't think it's something that people can just parachute into.
Yeah.
Um, but so after like, I think it was like one of the rejections, Tom's Tom's team messaged me and they had read my script and they were like, have you thought about Tom? And I hadn't heard of him before.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so Hunger Games was playing in the movie theaters and I went and saw it and I was like, I was immediately struck by how expressive his eyes were. So much of the character is about what's unsaid and what's behind his eyes. And I met with him on a Zoom and I was just like, immediately I knew it was him. And I traveled up to Calgary to Canada to see him, to meet him in person to make sure, that it was the right decision. And we were supposed to have an hour meeting and ended up being like 5 hours. And then we stayed out until like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I
Uh,
told you. But I'm glad you're telling me this because it seems that where we're sitting, you had such a smooth ride. Sundance
no.
water. I know. I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not glad you did that. But because for budding filmmakers watching this, they're probably sort of thinking, "How the hell did you do this?" Um,
Mm,
because it is tough to get a film off the ground.
yeah.
So you need to be congratulated for that alone because it's a good gay film.
Mm,
So we're about to meet in Pete Town. I keep saying that too.
yeah.
Tell us what it's like going around the globe showing your film.
It's been really interesting to see how the different audiences respond in
Mhm.
different countries. Um, but it's resonating. It's resonating everywhere we show it. I get really amazing messages on my Instagram from people who might be like too shy to come up to me after the
Yeah.
screening, but people are really opening their hearts, and it's beautiful to hear their stories and to hear how the character resonates with them. Like I said, even beyond a queer audience.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's been so I couldn't have imagined
Yeah.
how incredible the response has been. Yeah.
What's next for the film?
Well, we're releasing in America in the fall,
Mhm.
September, October. Um, and then we're setting a date for the UK and Ireland. I believe we also have distribution in Canada, Spain, I think Germany, I'm not sure. But yeah, so it'll be this fall when it comes out. Which is, yeah, it'll be in movie theaters.
And
Yeah.
then what's next for you?
Ooh, I don't. I'm trying to figure that out. I have a few ideas circulating in my mind, but I'm also very interested in directing things that other people wrote. I had a really great experience in Japan after Sundance that I really would like to write about.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it's I really want to direct a musical one day. I really want to direct Hunchback of Notre Dame for Disney once once um once they're open to doing that. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas.
We
Yeah.
could see Russell as our hunchback.
Oh, I want to work with Russell for the rest of my life. He's amazing.
So
Yeah.
I hear, let's finish off, but I hear that if we go to a VIP screening, you actually put his phone number on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You'd be so popular if you did.
yeah. I know. No, he's such a sweetheart.
I
He's
know.
just,
Well,
yeah,
he's British. He's British.
yeah. So is Tom. So
Yeah,
is Christian Cook. You saw the film. I assume you saw the
yeah, I
film at
loved the
Sundance. Yeah.
film. We saw
The
Sundance. Yeah, I loved it.
the guy with the mustache. He's British too. Yeah.
We're the best. We're the best. It's been great
Yeah.
talking to you. Now go pack your clothes.
Thank
Um,
you.
I will see you landed in Provincetown this weekend. It's a great festival. It's one of the few that is 50-50. We're part queer and we're part not queer. So, but it's a great mix and we have some great people here. Look forward to seeing you.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
How are you?